Hello and a very warm welcome. If you're watching this, you've probably been on an incredibly tough journey. And dealing with hair loss after radiotherapy for a brain tumor, well, it can be a constant, visible reminder of everything you've gone through. So this explainer is our way of giving you a clear, practical guide to understand what's happening and to explore all the paths forward to regaining your confidence.
And if that quote sounds familiar, please know you are absolutely not alone. This is such a common experience, and it's completely okay to feel distressed by it. Because it's not just hair, is it? It's a huge part of our identity.
So, we've put together a clear roadmap for you. First, we'll get into the why of it all. Then, we'll look at medical options, cosmetic tools for a confidence boost, some long-term solutions, and finally, we'll talk about the crucial support that's out there for you. All right, let's dive in.
First up, let's tackle why this happens in the first place. Honestly, understanding the mechanics behind the hair loss is the first real step toward finding the solutions that are right for you.
The official medical term is radiation-induced alopecia. Basically, radiotherapy is designed to zap fast-dividing cancer cells. The thing is, the cells in our hair follicles are also fast-dividing. So when they're in the direct path of that radiation beam, they get damaged too, and that's what leads to the hair shedding.
Now, this number on your screen, it's incredibly important. 40 gray, or GY. Gray is just the unit used to measure a radiation dose, and that 40 number, well, that's kind of the magic threshold where the damage to hair follicles can unfortunately become permanent. This one factor is the key to understanding your potential for regrowth.
And this slide really lays out the two main possibilities. So if you look on the left, with lower radiation doses, the follicles are often just kind of stunned and they can recover. But on the right, with higher doses, often over that 40 gray mark that's used in curative treatments, the follicles can be permanently destroyed. This just helps to set some realistic expectations for what might happen next.
Okay, so what can actually be done? Let's move on and see how we can proactively encourage any of those surviving follicles. This is all about the science-backed medical options that are available right now.
So your first line of attack will probably involve one of these. You've got topical minoxidil, you might know it as Regain, which you apply right onto the scalp to wake up those follicles. There's also an oral version if the topical one causes any irritation. And hey, let's not underestimate the basics. Making sure you're not low on key nutrients like iron and vitamin D, that gives your body the essential building blocks it needs for hair growth.
But the big question is, does it work? Well, a key study from 2020 gives us some real hope. If you look at these results, you can see that while complete regrowth happened for about 16% of people, a full 2/3, 66%, saw partial improvement. The big takeaway here is that for the vast majority of people, it can make a really noticeable difference.
Now, beyond creams and pills, there are actual procedures. Low-level laser therapy, which you can often do with caps you wear at home, uses red light to energize the follicles. Then there's something called platelet-rich plasma, or PRP. This is where they take a small sample of your own blood, concentrate its natural growth factors, and inject them back into your scalp to kickstart any dormant follicles. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, so while all those medical treatments take time to work, sometimes you just need something that can boost your confidence right now. This next section is all about those immediate, practical tools that can help you feel more like yourself today.
Let's start with wigs. You've really got two main choices, synthetic and human hair, and it all comes down to a trade-off. Synthetic wigs are easier on the wallet and hold their style with zero effort, but they don't last as long. Human hair is a bigger investment and needs styling, but the payoff is incredible realism and it can last for years.
But what if you don't have total hair loss? If you're just dealing with specific patches, a hair topper can be an absolute game changer. It just clips into your existing hair, adding volume and coverage only where you need it, and it can create a remarkably natural look.
So, what if you just want a quick, easy fix for a special occasion or even for daily use without committing to a full wig or a topper?
This is where camouflage products are just brilliant. Hair fibers are these tiny particles that cling to your existing hair, making it look instantly thicker. Scalp powders and sprays work by coloring your scalp a bit to reduce that stark contrast. And of course, never underestimate the power of a great haircut with some strategic layers to create the illusion of volume.
Okay, let's move on to the heavy hitters. For those areas where hair loss has been confirmed to be permanent, there are some really definitive long-term solutions that can offer lasting confidence.
The most well-known is a hair transplant. The process is pretty straightforward, but the key ingredient here is patience. After a consultation, there's a vital waiting period of at least a year to make sure your scalp has totally healed from radiation.
Then, healthy follicles are surgically moved to the area of hair loss, where they'll start to grow new, permanent hair.
Now, a fascinating alternative is something called scalp micropigmentation, or SMP. This isn't surgery, it's a highly specialized tattoo. An expert applies tiny dots of pigment to the scalp, creating this amazing illusion of hair follicles. It can either look like a short buzz cut, or it can just add a shadow of density underneath thinning hair.
And this table just makes the choice between the two really, really clear. It all boils down to what you're looking for. A transplant gives you real growing hair, but it is a surgical procedure and it costs more. SMP, on the other hand, gives you an incredibly realistic illusion of density. It's non-surgical, more affordable, but it's important to remember, it is a cosmetic tattoo, not actual hair.
And finally, and honestly, this is so important, this journey is about more than just treatments. It's about caring for your recovering hair, and just as much, it's about caring for yourself as a whole person.
Any new hair that grows back will be super delicate, so just think gentle. Use mild shampoos, try to avoid tight hairstyles and high heat, always protect your sensitive scalp from the sun, and please hold off on any harsh chemical treatments like dyes for at least 6 months. Just be kind to your hair and your scalp.
And on those days when it all feels a bit overwhelming, where can you turn? Because you should never, ever have to feel like you're handling this alone.
Here in the UK, there is such a powerful network of support. You've got the online communities at Macmillan, the practical workshops from Look Good, Feel Better, the dedicated specialists at Cancer Hair Care, and the incredibly welcoming spaces at Maggie's Centres. Help is available. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
We'll end with this thought. This is a challenge. There is no doubt about it. But you've already faced and overcome something absolutely monumental. With that same strength and that same resolve, you can navigate this part of your recovery, find the solutions that make you feel whole, and write the next chapter of your life feeling confident and powerful.